My name is Nick Travers, and 3 months ago I thought I knew what betrayal looked like. Turns out I didn't know jack shit. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. I'm sitting in my downtown office at 7 in the morning, staring at structural blueprints that make more sense than my marriage ever did. The coffee's bitter, the fluorescent lights buzz like angry wasps, and somewhere across town, my wife April is probably already planning how to screw me over before I've even had breakfast. April married me for my blueprints, not my personality. That's what I tell myself anyway, because the alternative, that she actually loved me once, hurts too much to think about. "Morning, sunshine," Tony Vega calls from the doorway. My project manager looks like he's been awake for hours, which he probably has. Ex-military guys don't sleep in. "You look like hell." "Feel worse," I mutter, not looking up from the plans. April had another business dinner last night. Came home smelling like expensive cologne and bullshit. Tony drops into the chair across from my desk. "Derek Hanlon again?" "Probably." I finally look up. You know what she said when I asked about it. She said I wouldn't understand because it's high-level real estate strategy. Like I'm some kind of moron who builds bridges with Lincoln logs. You design some of the strongest structures in the state, Nick. Don't let her make you feel small. But that's exactly what she does. Every day, every conversation, every look. My assistant Mel pokes her head in. "Morning, boss. Your wife called. She needs you to pick up her dry cleaning and meet some guy named Derek for lunch." I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Of course she does. Did she happen to mention why I need to have lunch with her boyfriend? Mel raises an eyebrow. Her what now? Nothing. Cancel my afternoon meetings. After Mel leaves, Tony leans forward. "You sure about this Derek thing?" Sure as steel beams don't bend without pressure. I pull out my phone and scroll through April's recent behavior. She's been different for months. Secretive. Her phone's always face down. She gets texts at midnight and claims it's work emergencies. Last week I heard her on the phone with her girlfriend Lacey talking about big projects and bigger equipment. They were giggling like teenagers. Could be innocent. Could be, but it's not. I stand up and walk to the window overlooking the construction site below. Workers are already setting up for the day, honest men doing honest work. You know what the worst part is? I still love her, even knowing she's playing me for a fool. My phone buzzes. Text from April. "Don't embarrass me at lunch. Derek's important." I show Tony the message. He whistles low. "Yeah," I say. "That's what I thought too." The restaurant April chose is one of those places where the portions are tiny and the prices are enormous. The kind of place that serves deconstructed everything and expects you to be grateful for the privilege of paying $40 for what used to be a sandwich. Derek Hanlon is exactly what I expected. Tall, perfectly groomed, wearing a suit that costs more than most people make in a month. He drives a black Range Rover because of course he does. When I walk in, he's already sitting with April, their heads close together, her hand on his arm. She sees me and pulls back quickly, but not quickly enough. "Nick!" April's voice is too bright, too cheerful. "You remember Derek from the Chamber of Commerce dinner." Derek stands and extends his hand. His grip is firm, practiced. "Nick, good to see you again. April tells me you're working on some interesting projects." "Bridges mostly. Things that need to stay up." I meet his eyes. Structural integrity is important to me. April shoots me a warning look. "Derek's developing that new complex downtown, the one with the luxury condos." "Sounds expensive," I say, sitting down. "Hope you can afford it." The lunch is exactly as uncomfortable as I expected. Derek talks about his projects, his success, his vision for the city. April hangs on every word like he's delivering the Sermon on the Mount. I eat my overpriced salad and plan. "You know," Derek says, cutting into his $50 steak, "April mentioned you might be interested in doing some consulting work for my company." "Did she now?" I look at my wife. That's funny, because April's never shown much interest in my work before. "Nick," April warns. "What? It's true. You've always said engineering is boring." "All those numbers and measurements," you said. "Where's the creativity?" Derek laughs uncomfortably. "Well, there's definitely creativity in development. Vision, the ability to see what could be." "Oh, I'm starting to see plenty," I say. After lunch, I sit in my truck in the parking lot and watch Derek walk April to her car. He puts his hand on the small of her back, the same way I used to. She looks up at him and smiles, the same smile she used to give me. My phone rings. "Tony." "How'd it go?" About as well as a controlled demolition, I say. I need you to do me a favor. Name it. Remember that actress friend of yours, Jess, the one who does improv? Yeah, what about her? I need someone to cause a scene, a very public, very embarrassing scene. Nick, what are you planning? I watched Derek kiss my wife goodbye in the parking lot of an overpriced restaurant while people walk by pretending not to notice. I'm planning to give them exactly what they deserve, I say, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Jess Martinez is 5'3" of pure theatrical chaos, and she's exactly what I need. We meet at Tony's Bar on Thursday night, a dive place where the beer is cold and nobody asks questions. So, let me get this straight, Jess says, nursing a whiskey neat. You want me to walk into Romano's tomorrow night and accuse this Derek guy of ruining my life? In front of my wife and half the city's real estate elite, I confirm. Make it loud, make it messy, make it memorable. What's my motivation? He promised you a condo in his new development, took your deposit, then disappeared. You've been trying to reach him for months. You're desperate, broke, and you just want your money back. Jess grins. I like it, very woman-scorned. What's in it for me? $500 cash and the satisfaction of ruining a really terrible person's evening. Sold. Tony shakes his head. You sure about this, Nick? Once you start down this road? I'm already on this road, I say. April made that choice for me when she decided to screw around behind my back. My phone buzzes. Text from April. Dinner with Derek tomorrow night. Don't wait up. I show them the message. Jess laughs. Oh, this is going to be fun. Friday evening, I'm parked across from Romano's when my phone rings. Ray Hutchins, a private investigator Tony knows from his Army days. Got some information on your boy Derek. Ray's gravelly voice comes through the speaker. You're not going to like it. Try me. He's been skimming money from his construction projects. Nothing provable yet, but there are rumors. City council's getting suspicious. Also, your wife isn't his only side piece. My grip tightens on the steering wheel. What do you mean? He's got at least 2 other women on the hook. One's a city planner named Rebecca. The other's some lawyer who handles his contracts. Guy's got a type. Married, successful, vulnerable. Son of a bitch. Gets better. His wife Monica has no idea. She's one of those social media addicts, posts everything. Perfect target for some strategic information sharing, if you know what I mean. Through the restaurant window, I can see April and Derek at a corner table. She's wearing the red dress I bought her for our anniversary last year. Send me everything you've got on Monica, I say, and keep digging on Derek's business dealings. You got it. Nick, be careful. Guys like Derek don't go down easy. Neither do guys like me. At exactly 8:30, Jess walks into Romano's. She's dressed down, jeans, sneakers, hair pulled back. She looks exactly like someone who's been struggling financially. She scans the room, spots Derek, and her face transforms into perfect anguish. Derek, she calls out, loud enough to turn heads. Derek Hanlon. Derek looks up from his wine, confusion flickering across his face. April frowns. I've been trying to reach you for months, Jess continues, walking toward their table. Other diners are starting to stare. Where's my money? Where's my condo? I'm sorry, Derek says, standing up. I think you have me confused with someone else. Confused? Jess's voice rises. You took my deposit, $50,000. You said I was guaranteed a unit in Riverside Commons. The restaurant has gone quiet. Servers have stopped moving. April looks mortified. Ma'am, please, Derek says, his voice tight. You're making a scene. I'm making a scene? Jess laughs bitterly. You disappeared with my life savings and I'm making a scene? I've got 3 kids, Mr. Hanlon. 3 kids and no place to live because I trusted you. A manager appears, but Jess is just getting started. He's a fraud, she announces to the entire restaurant. Derek Hanlon takes money from working families and disappears. Don't trust him. Security arrives and escorts Jess out, but the damage is done. Every phone in the place was recording. Derek's face is red. April looks like she wants to disappear, and I'm sitting in my truck across the street grinning like an idiot. My phone rings. April. Where are you? She demands. Home. Why? Some crazy woman just attacked Derek at dinner. It was horrible. Attacked? Was he hurt? Not physically, but Nick, she was screaming about money and fraud. People were filming. This could ruin him. That would be terrible, I say, not meaning a word of it. You sound strange. Are you okay? Just tired. Long day at the site. How's Derek handling it? He's upset. This woman was clearly unhinged. He's never seen her before in his life. Of course not, I agree. Hey, April, you might want to be careful about being seen with him for a while. If there are more crazy people out there making accusations. What do you mean? I mean, if he's really innocent, great. But if there's any truth to what that woman was saying, you don't want to get caught in the crossfire. Your reputation matters too. There's silence on the other end. I have to go, April says finally. Derek needs me. I'm sure he does. After she hangs up, I sit in the dark parking lot and think about what Ray told me. Derek's got other women. He's stealing money. His wife has no idea. I pull out my laptop and find Monica Hanlon's Instagram account. She's posted 43 times in the past week. Pictures of her yoga class, her organic smoothies, her designer handbags. Her latest post is from 2 hours ago. Date night with my amazing husband, Hom Chao, blessed, Ophir, love of my life. The photo shows Derek's empty side of their bed. I screenshot it and send it to Ray with a message. This might be useful. Then I start planning phase 2. Monday morning brings bad news and worse coffee. I'm in my office reviewing structural reports when Mel walks in with a face like a thundercloud. HR wants to see you, she says. Now. What for? They wouldn't say, but Carol from accounting mentioned something about complaints. My stomach drops. What kind of complaints? The kind that end careers. The HR office smells like cheap air freshener and broken dreams. Sandra Mills, our head of human resources, sits behind her desk with a folder thick enough to choke a horse. Nick, please sit down. We need to discuss some serious allegations. What allegations? She opens the folder. We've received multiple complaints about your behavior toward female employees. Inappropriate comments, aggressive conduct, creating a hostile work environment. That's bullshit, and you know it. Language like that is exactly what we're talking about, Sandra says. These complaints paint a picture of someone who's become increasingly difficult to work with. Who complained? I can't reveal that information, but I can tell you it's more than one person. The complaints span several months. My mind races. This is about Derek Hanlon, isn't it? Sandra's poker face slips slightly. I don't know what you mean. Sure you don't. Let me guess. The complaints started right around the time my wife began working with Derek's development company. Nick, I think you should consider taking some time off. Paid leave while we investigate. Investigate what? Made up complaints from people who won't even put their names on the record? The complaints are signed and dated. We have documentation. I lean back in my chair. Through the window, I can see the construction site where honest men are doing honest work. Not like the games being played in this air-conditioned office. How long have you known Derek Hanlon, Sandra? That's not relevant. Humor me. I don't see how... Because if you've known him long enough, you might know about his creative accounting methods, or his habit of making promises he can't keep. Or maybe you know about Rebecca from city planning, or that lawyer who handles his contracts. Sandra's face goes white. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating facts. Derek Hanlon is a fraud, and everyone who's helping him is going to go down with him. I stand up and head for the door. Nick, we're not finished here. Yeah, we are. I find Tony in the parking lot, leaning against his truck with a cigarette. How bad? He asks. Pretty bad. They're suspending me pending investigation. On what grounds? Harassment complaints. Multiple sources, all anonymous, all bullshit. Tony flicks his cigarette into the gravel. This has Derek's fingerprints all over it. No doubt. Question is, what are we going to do about it? We? You think they're going to stop with me? Derek wants this whole company. He's going after everyone who might stand in his way. Tony considers this. What do you need? Access to the company files, quietly. And I need you to start moving some assets around. What kind of assets? The kind that disappear when people aren't paying attention. That evening, I'm sitting in my home office when April walks in. She's dressed for business. Sharp suit, perfect makeup, killer heels. She looks like success. And for a moment, I remember why I fell in love with her. We need to talk, she says. About what? About your behavior at work, about the complaints, about whatever's going on with you lately. What's going on with me is that my wife is screwing another man, and that man is trying to destroy my career. April's mask slips. I don't know what you're talking about. Derek Hanlon, the man you've been having dinner with, the man you text at midnight, the man whose cologne you wear home like a badge of honor. You're paranoid. Am I? Then explain the complaints at work. Explain how they happened to surface right after I had lunch with your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. Then what is he? April sits down across from me. For a moment, she looks tired, older than her 36 years. He's a business opportunity, she says finally. A chance for both of us to move up in the world. By destroying me? By moving beyond you. The words hit like a physical blow. Beyond me. Nick, you're a good man. You're honest and hardworking and decent. But you're small. You think small, you dream small, you live small. Derek thinks big. Derek's a fraud. Derek's successful. There's a difference. April stands up. I've filed for divorce. I stare at her. When? This afternoon. You'll be served tomorrow. And Derek? Derek's going to help me start my own agency. We're going to be partners. In business or in bed? She doesn't answer, which is answer enough. After she leaves, I sit in the dark for a long time. Then I call Ray. I need everything you've got on Derek and Monica Hanlon, I say, and I need it tonight. Already ahead of you. Check your email. The files Ray sends paint a picture of a marriage built on lies. Derek's been siphoning money from their joint accounts. He's got credit cards Monica doesn't know about. He's been using their home as collateral for business loans that are about to come due, and Monica's been posting their entire life online, including their schedules, their habits, their vulnerabilities. I spend the next 2 hours crafting the perfect anonymous email. Photos of Derek with April, screenshots of his financial irregularities, a detailed timeline of his affairs. I send it to Monica at 2 a.m. with the subject line, Things you should know about your husband. Then I start planning phase 3. Monica Hanlon's social media meltdown is spectacular. By Wednesday morning, she's posted 17 Instagram stories, 43 Facebook updates, and 1 YouTube video that's already been viewed 12,000 times. The YouTube video is my favorite. Monica, still in her pajamas, holding up printed emails and bank statements, explaining in excruciating detail how her husband has been stealing from their accounts to fund his affairs. This is Derek Hanlon, she says, holding up a photo. He's a liar, a cheat, and a thief. He's been having affairs with multiple women while I've been at home planning our future. Well, Derek, here's your future. The video ends with Monica throwing Derek's clothes off their second-story balcony while their neighbors watch. I'm watching it for the 3rd time when Tony walks into my office. Jesus, Nick. Monica Hanlon's lost her mind. Has she? Or has she finally found it? Derek's lawyers are threatening to sue everyone who shares that video. Let them try. Truth is an absolute defense. My phone rings. April. What did you do? She demands. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. Don't play dumb. Derek's wife is having a breakdown on social media. She's posting lies about him, about us, about everything. Are they lies? Of course they're lies. Then Derek should be able to prove that easily. Bank records, credit card statements, phone records, all of that stuff leaves a paper trail. Silence. April, you still there? This is your fault somehow. I know it is. How could it be my fault? I'm just a small-thinking, small-dreaming engineer, remember? I don't have the vision to orchestrate something like this. You bastard! She hangs up. I'm still smiling when Mel walks in. Boss, there's a woman here to see you. Says her name is Rebecca Chen from City Planning. Rebecca Chen is exactly what I expected. Mid-30s, professional, nervous. She sits across from my desk and fidgets with her purse. Mr. Travers, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Okay. Did you send information about Derek Hanlon to his wife? Why would you think that? Because Monica Hanlon called me this morning. She has emails, photos, text messages between Derek and me. I lean back in my chair. That must be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? Rebecca laughs bitterly. I'm married, Mr. Travers. My husband saw the posts. My boss saw the posts. My career is over. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Because you don't look sorry. You look satisfied. Rebecca, can I ask you something? Did Derek promise you things? Special treatment on permits, maybe? Fast-track approvals for his projects? Her face goes pale. Did he promise you a future together? Tell you that his marriage was over, that he was just waiting for the right time to leave? How did you... Because he told my wife the same things. And the lawyer who handles his contracts. And probably half a dozen other women. Rebecca stares at me. You did this? I exposed a fraud. Derek Hanlon has been using women, stealing money, and corrupting city officials. The only thing I'm guilty of is shining a light on the truth. My marriage was built on lies, just like mine was. The difference is, now you know. After Rebecca leaves, I call Ray. How's our boy Derek handling the pressure? Not well. Word is he's drinking heavily, missed 2 city council meetings. His business partners are getting nervous. Good. What about the lawyer? Jennifer Walsh? She's lawyered up herself. Hired someone to handle her divorce. Derek's got a type, doesn't he? Successful women with something to lose. Classic predator behavior. I'm about to respond when my phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. We need to talk. Derek. I show the message to Ray over FaceTime. Could be a trap, he warns. Could be, but I doubt Derek's thinking that clearly right now. I text back. Construction site. 1 hour? Come alone. The construction site after hours is a different world. The machinery sits silent, massive shapes in the darkness. I'm standing next to a crane when Derek's Range Rover pulls up. He gets out slowly. Even from 50 feet away, I can see he's been drinking. Nick, he calls out, we need to talk. So talk. He walks closer, stumbling slightly on the uneven ground. You've ruined everything. My marriage, my business, my reputation. Why? You know why. Because of April. She came to me, Nick. She made the first move. And you just couldn't resist? She was unhappy, unfulfilled. She needed someone who understood her ambitions. She needed someone who would help her steal my company. Derek stops walking. What? The HR complaints, the harassment allegations, the plan to force me out so you could buy my contracts at a discount. Did you really think I wouldn't figure it out? You can't prove anything. I don't have to prove anything. Your wife already did that for me. Derek's face twists with rage. You destroyed my marriage. You destroyed your marriage. I just made it public. He lunges at me, but he's drunk and clumsy. I sidestep easily, and he stumbles into a pile of construction materials. Stay down, Derek. You're embarrassing yourself. This isn't over, he says, struggling to his feet. Yeah, it is. I walk back to my truck, leaving him standing alone in the darkness. But as I drive away, I can see him in my rearview mirror, pulling out his phone. Whatever he's planning, I'll be ready. The fake abuse allegations hit the news on Friday morning. Channel 7 runs the story at 6 a.m. Local engineer accused of domestic violence. I'm drinking coffee and watching my reputation get destroyed on live television when my phone starts ringing. Reporters, lawyers, former clients, my mother. I let them all go to voicemail. The story is perfect in its simplicity. April claims I've been physically and emotionally abusive for years. She has photos of bruises, medical records, testimony from friends. It's all fabricated, but it looks real enough for the morning news. My doorbell rings at 8 a.m. 2 police officers, young and serious. Mr. Travers, we need you to come with us. What's the charge? Domestic violence. Your wife filed a complaint. The booking process is humiliating and efficient. Fingerprints, photos, paperwork. They put me in a holding cell with a drunk driver and a guy who tried to steal copper wire from a construction site. What are you in for? The copper thief asks. Marriage, I say. Tony bails me out 6 hours later. We sit in his truck in the police station parking lot, not talking. Finally, he breaks the silence. This is bad, Nick. I know. April's got photos, medical records, witnesses. Even if it's all fake, it looks real. I know. You need a lawyer. I need evidence. That evening, I'm sitting in my empty house when the doorbell rings. I look through the peephole and see April standing on my front porch, looking nervous. I open the door, but don't invite her in. What do you want? To talk. To explain. Explain what? How you fabricated evidence of domestic violence? How you destroyed my reputation on live television? It doesn't have to be permanent, she says. The charges can be dropped. The story can be corrected. We can make this all go away. In exchange for what? Sign over your share of the company. Walk away quietly. Start fresh somewhere else. I stare at my wife of 8 years. You really think I'm that stupid? I think you're that desperate. And if I don't, then the charges stick. Your career is over. Your reputation is destroyed. You'll never work in this city again. I pretend to consider it. Can I think about it overnight? You have until Monday. After she leaves, I go upstairs to my home office and turn on the recording equipment I installed last week. The conversation with April is crystal clear, every word preserved in digital perfection. Then I call Jess. I need another performance, I tell her. Bigger this time, more public, and I need it tomorrow. Saturday morning, Derek is having breakfast at the Riverside Cafe when Jess walks in. This time she's dressed as a process server, official-looking, carrying a clipboard and a briefcase. Derek Hanlon, she says loudly. You've been served. She hands him an official-looking document. Derek opens it, and his face goes white. Paternity suit? He says, loud enough for the entire cafe to hear. That's right, Mr. Hanlon. My client is seeking child support for the twins you fathered. DNA tests confirm you're the father. This is impossible. I don't have any children. You do now. The twins were born in March. My client has been trying to reach you for months, but you've been avoiding her calls. Derek stands up, knocking over his coffee. This is harassment. No, sir. This is legal process. You have 30 days to respond, or we'll seek a default judgment. The amount requested is $8,000 per month, plus back support. The entire cafe is watching now. Phones are out, recording. Derek's face is red with rage and embarrassment. Get away from me! Sir, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just doing my job. Derek storms out of the cafe, leaving his breakfast and his dignity behind. The video goes viral within hours. Sunday evening, I get a call from Ray. Derek's cracking, he says. Word is he tried to borrow money from some very unfriendly people, the kind who break kneecaps when they don't get paid back. How unfriendly? The kind who don't care about your reputation because they'll just kill you if you cross them. Jesus. Gets better. Monica's divorce lawyer is freezing all his assets. The city council is launching an investigation into his business practices, and 3 more women have come forward claiming he defrauded them. Real women this time? Real women, real money, real complaints. Monday morning, I walk into the courthouse with my lawyer and a briefcase full of evidence. The hearing on April's restraining order is scheduled for 10 a.m. April sits at the plaintiff's table with her attorney, looking confident and victimized. She's wearing a conservative dress and minimal makeup, playing the part of the abused wife perfectly. Your Honor, her lawyer begins, my client has endured years of escalating abuse from the defendant. We have medical records, photographs, and witness testimony documenting a pattern of violent behavior. The judge, a stern woman in her 60s, reviews the evidence. These are serious allegations. Mr. Travers, how do you respond? My lawyer stands. Your Honor, we believe these allegations are completely fabricated. We have evidence that the plaintiff has conspired with a third party to destroy my client's reputation and steal his business. That's a serious counteraccusation. Do you have proof? We do, Your Honor. My lawyer plays the recording of April's visit to my house. Her voice fills the courtroom, clear and unmistakable. The charges can be dropped. The story can be corrected. We can make this all go away. Sign over your share of the company. Walk away quietly. April's face goes white. Her lawyer looks like he wants to disappear. Your Honor, my lawyer continues, this recording clearly shows that the plaintiff is using false allegations as extortion. She's attempting to coerce my client into surrendering his business interests. The judge listens to the entire recording twice. When it ends, she looks at April with disgust. Ms. Travers, this court takes allegations of domestic violence very seriously. We also take perjury very seriously. Based on this evidence, I'm dismissing all charges against Mr. Travers and referring this matter to the district attorney for possible prosecution. April starts crying, but they're tears of rage, not sorrow. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm us. My lawyer handles the questions while I stand quietly, vindicated but not satisfied. This isn't over. Not yet. Derek's desperation reaches its peak on Tuesday night when he breaks into my house and steals my dog. I come home from dinner with Tony to find my back door jimmied open and Rex, my 10-year-old golden retriever, missing. There's a note on my kitchen table. You want your dog back? Meet me at the construction site at midnight. Come alone, or the dog dies. I call Tony immediately. This is it, I tell him. Derek's lost his mind completely. We should call the police. And tell them what? That a man who's already facing fraud charges and a messy divorce has kidnapped my dog? They'll think I'm making it up. So what's the plan? I'm going to end this, tonight, permanently. Nick, don't do anything stupid. Too late for that. At 11:45 p.m., I drive to the construction site. Derek's Range Rover is parked near the crane, headlights on. I can see him standing in the light, holding Rex on a leash. I park 50 feet away and get out slowly. Derek, let's finish this. About time, he shouts back. You've destroyed everything I worked for. You destroyed it yourself. I walk closer, and I can see he's been drinking again. His clothes are wrinkled, his hair is messy, and he's swaying slightly. Where's April? I ask. Gone. Left town this morning. Said she couldn't handle the pressure. Smart woman? She was supposed to be my partner. We had plans. You had plans. She had options. Derek's face twists with rage. You think you're so clever, don't you? Turning everyone against me, destroying my reputation, ruining my life. I didn't ruin your life, Derek. I just exposed who you really are. Well, here's who I really am. He pulls out a gun, small, chrome-plated, probably expensive. Rex whimpers and tries to back away. Derek, put the gun down. This isn't going to solve anything. It'll solve everything. With you dead, April will come back. We can start over somewhere else. April's not coming back. She's probably halfway to Mexico by now with whatever money she could grab. You're lying. Check your phone. I bet she's already blocked your number. Derek fumbles for his phone with his free hand, keeping the gun pointed at me. His face goes pale as he reads the screen. She said she loved me. She said she loved me too. April says whatever she needs to say to get what she wants. This is all your fault. No, Derek, this is all your fault. You chose to cheat. You chose to steal. You chose to hurt people. I just made sure everyone knew about it. Derek raises the gun, but his hand is shaking. I should kill you right now. You should, but you won't. Why not? Because you're not a killer, Derek. You're just a coward who got caught. That's when I hear the sirens. Derek spins around, confused. You called the cops? I didn't have to. You did. What? I point to the construction site's security cameras, their red lights blinking in the darkness. Everything we've said, everything you've done, it's all being recorded. The security company automatically calls police when someone breaks into the site after hours. Derek looks around wildly, finally noticing the cameras mounted on every building, every crane, every piece of equipment. You set me up. I gave you enough rope to hang yourself. You did the rest. The police cars arrive with lights flashing. Derek drops the gun and raises his hands, still holding Rex's leash. Don't shoot. I surrender. The arrest is quick and efficient. Derek doesn't resist as they cuff him and read him his rights. Rex runs to me, tail wagging, apparently unharmed by his adventure. Detective Sarah Martinez, a woman I've known since high school, walks over to me. Nick, you okay? I'm fine. Derek's the one you want. We heard the whole thing over the security system radio. Kidnapping, extortion, assault with a deadly weapon. This guy's going away for a long time. What about April? What about her? You have evidence she was involved in this? I think about it. April's already lost everything. Her marriage, her reputation, her business prospects. She's probably driving through the desert right now, wondering how her life fell apart so completely. No, I say finally. No evidence. The next morning, I'm back in my office for the first time in 2 weeks. The HR investigation has been dropped, the harassment charges dismissed, my reputation restored. Sandra Mills cleaned out her desk yesterday, apparently deciding to pursue other opportunities. Tony brings me coffee and the morning paper. Derek's arrest is front-page news. Local developer arrested in kidnapping plot. So what now? Tony asks. Now we get back to work. We've got bridges to build. And April? I look out the window at the construction site below. Workers are already setting up for the day, honest men doing honest work. April made her choice. She chose Derek over me, lies over truth, shortcuts over hard work. Now she gets to live with the consequences. You think she'll come back? Doesn't matter. I'm done with her. Done with all of it. My phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Nick, it's April. I'm sorry. Can we talk? I show Tony the message. He raises an eyebrow. What are you going to do? I delete the message without responding. I'm going to build something that lasts, I say. Something honest. Something real. Sounds like a plan. 3 months later, Derek Hanlon is sentenced to 5 years in prison for kidnapping, extortion, and fraud. Monica Hanlon gets the house, the cars, and what's left of the money. Rebecca Chen and Jennifer Walsh both find new jobs in other cities. April sends me divorce papers from Nevada. I sign them without reading them and mail them back the same day. I keep working, keep building, keep moving forward, because that's what you do when someone tries to tear down everything you've built. You start over and you build it stronger. And sometimes, late at night when I'm working on blueprints for a new project, I think about Derek sitting in his cell, wondering how it all went wrong. The answer is simple. He forgot that every structure needs a solid foundation, and lies make for very poor building material. Rex sleeps at my feet while I work, content and safe. Outside, the city lights twinkle like stars, and somewhere out there, people are living their lives, making their choices, building their futures. I'm building mine too, one honest day at a time. And that's how you break a liar, not with violence or revenge, but with truth. Because in the end, the truth is the strongest foundation of all.